Hi, I'm Danette James, and this is The Power of Eight. Today we're going to talk about young moms, current time, like, anywhere from age 16 to 25, not someone old like me. Today I have one guest. This is my daughter-in-law, Rachel. So thank you for coming. Tell me about yourself, kids. How old are you?
I'm Rachel. I'm 24. Bennett is my son. He's 5.5 months old, almost 6 months. We're getting there.
He's getting very big.
Yeah,
and
he
active.
is huge. He's like 20 pounds now. He's got 2 teeth. Again, he's really trying to crawl around.
And he's a happy, really happy baby.
He's very happy. He's the best baby
Yeah.
ever. I mean, he's the only one I've had,
Partial.
but I think he's the best one.
He's my third grandchild and my second grandson, so he's just so cute. So tell me something fun about yourself or something that somebody might not know.
There's not really that much. I'm pretty much open, so I don't have any fun secret talents or anything like that.
I will tell you something fun that Rachel didn't. When Rachel was pregnant, she didn't know a lot about having children. She'd never been around children. So she didn't even know what hospital to go to or that she had to go to a specific hospital. So there was definitely a learning process.
I thought it was like the movies and you just like
go into labor
and you run to the
closest hospital. Yeah. So that's kind of like a little fun fact about her, but she is definitely done great as first time mom. Not knowing a lot, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna talk a couple questions and see how this goes. All right. What do you feel like the advantages are of being a young mom?
I think one of the main things are that so like my mom is older. There's a lot of things she couldn't do with us physically because she's older.
Tired, yeah.
Yep, tired and everything. So I think it's really good that being a young mom, we can interact with them easier than I think with a larger age gap.
Yeah. I think with my kids, at least my older ones, we kind of grew up together. I was 16 when I had my first child, so yeah, we did a lot of growing up together and like walked through the process together. And now that my oldest has kids, she knows a lot from me being, a younger mom. So I think that was great. I was really young. I was able to like get down and play and do things like that.
Right.
And I think at 40, not that I can't get on the floor, but it's easier when you're younger. So okay. What do you wish people knew about like young moms? And you're older than I was when I had my first child.
Right.
But what stereotypes do you think are out there? What would you want people to know?
I think a big one is that we're like leaving our kids with our parents and then going out and just partying all the time.
That people think that.
Yeah, people think that,
Yeah.
and it's fine. Like we can deal with that kind of like stigma, but like no, that's not what's happening at all.
Yeah, like you're not going out partying. Like if someone's, even with me, sometimes when we had a sitter, I didn't have a sitter to go out. I had a sitter because I needed to get some sleep.
Yes, yeah.
Because I was tired, and like we may have had like a weekend plan, and we were like, let's just stay home because we're like maxed out.
Yeah, or we'd be like, we would plan to go out, and we would end up like just getting food instead.
Yeah.
And just coming back early.
Yeah.
And
And like just the whole process of like getting ready, and it's tiring. Yeah.
Really.
I would want people to know that like I did take a lot of naps when I had 6 little kids. I was literally tired, like exhausted to the point where I couldn't keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
But I was definitely not lazy. I was running, anywhere from 4 to 6 kids around. So yeah, I was tired. I was not lazy. I was like doing everything that a working mom and a stay-at-home mom does. So
Right.
definitely wasn't lazy. And I also think that I would want people to know, like, we're not just running around like having sex and sleeping with this person, like things happen and that's okay. Like that doesn't mean that I was doing whatever with whoever.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I feel like, some of the older generation thinks that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I can see that.
What do you think are some struggles or the hardest part of being a young mom or sort of a single mom?
I think the most, financially is really difficult. And I mean, I work full time. I have a decent job, and it's still difficult with that.
Yeah.
But another thing that really wasn't brought up to me when a whole lot, like during my whole pregnancy, it really wasn't brought up to me a whole lot, was postpartum depression.
Yeah.
And I think it's just not talked about enough, because
Did your doctors even say anything about it?
they just kind of said, oh, if you feel sad or something, like, it's important that you tell us.
Okay, so were you on medicine before you were pregnant?
I was on an antidepressant and
Mhm.
anti-anxiety before I got pregnant.
So they knew that going into it, so.
They did. It wasn't a kind I could take while I was pregnant, so I
Okay.
kind of just stopped taking it. And they just told me toward the end of my pregnancy, I mentioned it to them again, and they put me on another antidepressant that can be taken while you're pregnant and while breastfeeding. So they were like, let's get you started on this so that it kind of like
It prepares you.
Yeah, prepares you for afterwards.
So did they say, after you have your baby, you could be sad or, whatever the issues were, did they even talk about it?
It was just that. It was just, you could feel sad after this, and if you do, let us know. It wasn't in depth, and honestly, how much my postpartum depression hit me was way more than I anticipated,
and they just,
based off of what they told me.
Because they just well, you could be a little sad, or.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a big, conversation about it?
Right, no, there wasn't, and I think there definitely should be, because it was not good.
Yeah.
It was really, I think I remember, we were taking the newborn pictures, and the whole
She was
time
very zoned out.
I was on the
Not
verge
there.
of completely breaking down, literally for no reason. And then
Did you just feel overwhelmed, or you just felt sad, or you just was I don't know what's happening right now, I just had a baby?
It was kind of a mixture of all of those. I think I felt it very strongly, and like you said, I've never really interacted with kids before.
Yeah.
He was the first diaper I've ever changed,
Yeah.
so it was overwhelming, but that wasn't what brought it on. I could tell that it was just something that
Was going to happen.
Yeah, it was, and it was just so, and it came quick too.
Yeah,
And
it was within a week.
Yeah.
Or even maybe.
It took a lot in me. I actually had to call my doctor again when I think he was 3 weeks old, and ask them what I should do. And I remember telling them, trying to explain to them how I was feeling, and I couldn't get a single word out. I was sobbing.
Yeah.
I was hysterical the whole time.
Yeah, I feel like it's really important. There are a lot of celebrities out there who do talk about it, but I think there's a lot of people who are just regular people like you and I who don't talk about it because there's a stigma around it that, oh, are you sad? You just had a baby, you should be so happy. What, do you not love your baby? It's not like that. And you don't even probably still know why you were sad.
Right.
Or emotional.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just very overwhelming. It's overwhelming. Having a baby is overwhelming all the way around.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Put that on top of it makes it that much.
Yeah. So did they say you need to maybe talk to someone, or they give you more medicine?
So they did suggest therapy, which I've done before I was pregnant, and it wasn't really my thing. It didn't help me that much.
Well, you have to also find the right person.
Right, and then also I was well, now I have a baby, so
how am I gonna have time to
when
go
am
to
I
therapy?
gonna do that?
Yeah.
They ended up increasing my antidepressants that they had put me on while I was pregnant, and within a week or so I was already feeling better.
You are.
Yeah. Which
That's
is
good.
another thing.
So the
because I know
doctors-
that's a stigma around that too, antidepressants in general.
Because a lot of people think it makes you a terrible person if you have any mental health issues, and that's just not the case. When you say you talk to your doctors, you're talking about your OB doctor or a family doctor?
Honestly, I just called the hotline that the hospital gave me when they discharged me.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think I called them during a time where they wouldn't have been open.
So if that wouldn't have been available, then you would have called your OB, maybe?
Yeah, I would have called my.
That's good that there was a number though,
Yeah, that was helpful.
and that they like at least talked to you about it. Yeah, I think that's a big, huge topic that's gotta be talked about all the way around. Just with, and not even people that have newborns, cause moms that have a lot of kids and that are home and that's all they're talking to during the day, like, you can get really
Yeah.
down and depressed and in the winter can be really bad too, cause you're not getting outside
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
so yeah, I think this is like something we should talk about again, but
yeah.
I'm glad you're better.
Thank you. Me too.
I think, some of the hardest parts are late nights. You know, if you're 20 and in college and working and you just all of a sudden have a baby, like, late nights can be rough.
Yeah.
There's feedings every 2 to 4 hours and it can be exhausting. I think if you're single, then you don't have anybody, you know, to help you.
Right.
And if you live alone, then that's, you know, it's hard. And obviously money's, you know, a struggle, and if
Yeah.
you're not establishing a career, then, you know, you have to make it work, especially with like what daycare costs now and a babysitter costs, and yeah, so I think it's expensive, yeah.
I think there's just a lot of things that aren't talked about, that aren't brought up.
Yeah.
And so it kind of just like, for me, when I would experience each of these things, I'd be like, well, what's going on? Like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening to me? Because
Yeah.
none of this stuff was like.
Well, I think like your doctor, she went to like a group, and because you had never experienced like being a mom or being around kids or any of that, they didn't really guide you like
Yeah, no.
I feel like they should have.
Right.
There was so many things, I'm like, well, did they ask you this? So
Yeah.
I also think there needs to be like a questionnaire or something somewhere for moms who have no idea,
Right.
so that they can understand like the process of finding out you're pregnant and what happens with all that.
They did the whole time pretty much act like I've been through this before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
that
I would
was-
like ask questions like, did they do this? And you're like, I don't know,
I'm
and
like, I have no clue.
yeah, so I feel like there needs to be, you know,
Yeah.
something out there or somewhere where someone who hasn't been around it can
Yeah.
get some guidance.
And Googling it only gets you so far. So I was
And
like,
Googling it can make you very paranoid, so that's not necessarily a great
Yeah.
idea. Okay, so, role models, like, do you have any, I feel like mom role models are a big deal. My mom, of course, and my grandmother, and even my stepmother who has passed, like, they were all big role models for me. I also have a spiritual mother who I go to for all kinds of stuff. I also look up to Kris Jenner. She's like the best momager around. So, do you have like mom role models or people you know that you can call and talk to?
yeah, definitely. I would say definitely you. You were very helpful and supportive through my whole
Mhm.
pregnancy, and then once Bennett was here, like, same thing. Like, you've always been there and like made me feel comfortable. Like, I don't feel like uncomfortable to ask you certain things and be
Like things that
like,
you
what
wouldn't,
is
yeah.
this? Yeah, and like, I remember you were like, is he teething? I was like, I don't know. And you
Yeah.
were like, okay, I'll feel for, like, to see
Yeah.
if there's any teeth coming in.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, definitely my own mom. I know me and my mom, we don't always see eye to eye when it comes,
That's all mom
especially,
daughters.
yeah, especially to parenting, but my mom was a single mom,
Mhm.
pretty much the whole life growing up.
Yeah.
And I mean, I turned out,
Turned out
I
fine.
turned out good,
Yeah.
so I think that she did an awesome job.
I think it's important to have mom friends, and if you can like at some point, you know, that are your age, and that
Yeah.
have like little kids, at some point like finding who they are and like getting plugged in. And I hate to like say the word play date because that's like one of my least favorite words, but at some point, you know, he's gonna wanna,
Yeah.
you know, so you'll
Yeah.
find some people, yeah. Okay, so the last thing we do is talk about hashtag blessed and like what we're blessed for and what you feel blessed for. I am blessed for, I have a large family, so I'm very blessed to have them. Sometimes they're very opinionated, but I'm blessed to have them. I would probably be lost without them. And my friends, you know, my small circle of friends, and for being healthy, you know, I'm blessed with all of that. What about you?
So definitely how you have a large family, that was brought onto me, and I've never had that before, so I'm
Cry.
absolutely, I know, I feel like I'm gonna cry. I'm absolutely blessed to have your family be so welcoming to me.
Yeah. My family is a little bit much, so for Rachel, And even my fiance, who came from a very small family, I'm sure my family can be really overwhelming now. And
Definitely,
like
but-
at Christmas time, it's a lot. Like it's a lot for me, and I'm used to it.
I was like sitting in the corner like, oh my god.
Yeah, like I want to get out of here. But so anything else?
I mean, obviously Bennett. I think I got really lucky. He's a really good baby.
Yeah.
And yeah, just my family. I have a really good set of friends that are very supportive, and I can open up to them about anything.
Yeah, that's
Very
good.
small group of friends, but
Yeah.
very appreciative. And they're not like mom friends, but they're all very interactive with Bennett.
Yeah,
so.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Because they'll get there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. So thank you for coming. I really appreciate you coming and talking and opening up about postpartum. I think that's like a really big deal and something we probably need to talk more about.
Yeah, definitely.
So that is it for today. Thank you for watching this episode of The Power of 8 about young motherhood. If you would like, go in the comments, leave us some suggestions about postpartum or your experience with it, or really anything to do with young moms. Thank you for watching this episode of The Power of 8 with Danette James. Please like the episode, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell for notification. Thanks and have a great day.